What is the reason of heart attack? Understanding the true cause of heart attacks could save your life or the life of someone you love. Many people I've encountered have completely changed their lifestyle once they discovered the root cause of heart disease. And the incredible thing is, once they proactively avoided the risk factors, their cardiovascular health improved significantly. They no longer lived in fear every time they felt tired or experienced chest discomfort. Unfortunately, thousands of older adults still have no idea what truly causes a heart attack. They continue living with seemingly harmless habits that are quietly damaging their heart day by day, and the cost they pay is their health or even their life. In this video, I will help you understand the underlying causes behind the majority of heart attacks, factors that you can absolutely take control of. More importantly, I will show you how to recognize the early warning signs and take timely action before it's too late, even if you are already in your 60s, 70s, or older. The heart is a magnificent pump. It works tirelessly throughout your life to deliver oxygen and nutrient-rich blood to every part of your body. But in order to do that, the heart must be nourished by a network of healthy blood vessels, particularly the coronary arteries. When these arteries become narrowed or blocked by plaque buildup, the blood flow to the heart becomes restricted. And when the heart doesn't receive enough oxygen, the heart muscle cells begin to die. That is the moment a heart attack occurs. The concerning part is that this plaque buildup happens silently. It doesn't cause a fever, it doesn't hurt. There are no obvious symptoms until it's too late. That's what makes heart attacks one of the most dangerous silent killers among older adults. But why does plaque form in the first place? And why do some people, still young, eating normally, suffer sudden strokes or heart attacks without warning? Coming up next, I will share with you the 8 real causes behind most heart attacks, and some of them may truly surprise you.
Cause number 1. Plaque buildup in the arteries. The first and most common cause of heart attacks is the accumulation of plaque in the arteries, medically known as atherosclerosis. Your heart functions best when oxygen-rich blood flows freely through your coronary arteries to nourish the heart muscle. But over time, especially after the age of 50 or 60, substances like low-density lipoprotein, LDL cholesterol, excess fat, inflammatory cells, calcium and other debris begin to accumulate along the arterial walls, forming dense plaques. What's frightening is that this process unfolds completely silently. No pain, no fever, no obvious warning signs to grab your attention. The blood vessels simply continue to narrow, and blood circulation becomes increasingly impaired. But the most dangerous moment is one you cannot predict, when a plaque suddenly ruptures. At that instant, your body tries to repair the injury inside the artery by forming a blood clot. Ironically, this clot becomes the true threat. It can completely block the flow of blood, causing a severe oxygen shortage to the heart and triggering a sudden heart attack. This is why some people can walk, go about daily life as usual, and then, after a sudden emotional shock, climbing stairs or stepping into cold weather, their heart simply stops. There's no time to feel pain, no time to say goodbye. The artery was blocked in a matter of seconds. The good news is that you can prevent this from happening early on by managing your LDL cholesterol levels, avoiding processed foods, animal fats, and repeatedly fried foods, and instead consuming healthy fats from fatty fish, avocados, walnuts, and olive oil. Don't wait until symptoms appear to start making changes, because with heart disease, by the time you feel something obvious, it may already be too late. But there's another hidden enemy, even more destructive to your heart. and it exists in millions of people around the world, often without them even knowing it. What is it?
The second cause of heart attacks, and one of the most dangerous silent killers, is chronic high blood pressure. What makes it especially dangerous is the fact that many people live with hypertension for years without ever knowing it. They don't feel any pain, no dizziness, and can go about their daily life as usual, until the moment a heart attack strikes. High blood pressure is like forcing water through an old, fragile pipe at extremely high pressure. One day, that pressure causes the pipe to burst with serious consequences. Inside the body, elevated blood pressure damages the delicate walls of the small blood vessels. It stretches, weakens, or causes microscopic tears in the arteries, creating tiny cracks that become ideal sites for cholesterol and plaque buildup, leading to atherosclerosis. Even worse, high blood pressure doesn't just contribute to the formation of plaque, it also makes existing plaques more vulnerable to rupture. This significantly increases the risk of blood clots and sudden heart attacks. The older you get, the higher this risk becomes, especially if you eat a salty diet, smoke, are overweight, or lead a sedentary lifestyle. What's truly unfortunate is how many people neglect routine blood pressure monitoring simply because they feel fine. By the time they experience symptoms like numbness, chest pain, or shortness of breath, the blood vessels have likely been under extreme stress for a long time. To manage your blood pressure, medication isn't always the first step. Start with small but impactful lifestyle changes. Reduce sodium intake, cut back on processed foods, go for daily walks, breathe deeply, and get enough sleep. Always remember, keeping your blood pressure within a safe range is one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect your heart every single day. However, there is another cause, one even more silent than hypertension, and you might be suffering from it right now without knowing it. What is it?
The third cause, often overlooked yet deeply impactful to the heart, is chronic vascular inflammation. Unlike acute inflammation, which causes pain, swelling, or fever, chronic inflammation happens quietly inside the body. It doesn't present clear symptoms, it doesn't cause immediate discomfort, but day by day, it weakens the blood vessel walls, wearing them down little by little. Chronic vascular inflammation can be triggered by many seemingly harmless factors: long-term stress, chronic sleep deprivation, high sugar and refined carb diets, smoking, trans fats, and even chronic diseases such as diabetes, obesity, or arthritis. When blood vessels become inflamed, they lose their resilience and become more vulnerable to damage. They also lose their ability to resist plaque buildup. On top of that, inflammation makes existing plaques more likely to rupture, creating the perfect conditions for blood clots to form and block arteries suddenly. That's why for some people, just one intense burst of anger, a sleepless night, or overindulging in sugary foods could be enough to trigger a dangerous heart attack. What's even more alarming is that chronic inflammation doesn't just affect the heart, it's linked to a wide range of other serious conditions like stroke, Alzheimer's disease, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. And because it's so quiet, most people with chronic inflammation have no idea they're living with a ticking time bomb. To control inflammation, prioritize anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, dark leafy greens, berries, turmeric, ginger, and extra virgin olive oil. At the same time, eliminate pro-inflammatory triggers such as refined sugar, repeatedly fried foods, cigarette smoke, and prolonged psychological stress. And if you've been feeling unusually irritable, chronically fatigued, or struggling with poor sleep, your body may be trying to warn you that inflammation has already crossed the safe threshold. But there is yet another cause, quieter still, more dangerous, and it's affecting millions of people every single day without them even realizing it. So what is it?
The fourth cause, high blood sugar and diabetes, is one of the most dangerous culprits silently damaging your blood vessels every single day. Unlike high blood pressure or high cholesterol, which are more commonly checked during routine health screenings, Elevated blood sugar often goes unnoticed because it rarely causes clear symptoms. People may simply feel thirstier, more fatigued, or urinate more frequently than usual and easily dismiss these signs. However, when blood sugar remains elevated over time, it directly damages the endothelium, the delicate lining of your blood vessels. Excess glucose gradually erodes this lining, reducing its elasticity and making it rough and vulnerable, ideal conditions for plaque to build up. This results in poor circulation, reduced oxygen delivery to the heart, and increased workload on the heart muscle. What's alarming is that people with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a heart attack than those without, even if they're not overweight. Even more concerning, many individuals have no idea they're in the pre-diabetic stage, where blood sugar is already elevated but not yet high enough for a formal diagnosis, and they continue living as if nothing is wrong. They eat without control, avoid physical activity, neglect blood sugar checks, and then one day they're struck by a heart attack. By the time a doctor tells them you have diabetes, the heart may already be severely damaged. To manage blood sugar, you don't have to starve yourself or follow a strict diet. Start by cutting out refined sugar, sugary sodas, and processed sweets. Replace them with whole grains, vegetables, low-sugar fruits, and healthy fats. Natural supplements like cinnamon, black garlic, bitter melon, or apple cider vinegar may also help improve insulin sensitivity. But most importantly, do not be complacent, even if you've never been diagnosed with diabetes, because once elevated blood sugar has silently damaged your blood vessels, the consequences may be irreversible. Yet there's another silent killer, even more elusive than high blood sugar, that cannot be measured by a machine and doesn't come from food. But it weakens the heart day by day. It's something millions of older adults face daily. Can you guess what it is?
The fifth cause, chronic stress, is one of the most dangerous yet least recognized contributors to heart disease. Stress doesn't just make you feel tired, irritable, or sleepless. It silently raises your heart rate, constricts your blood vessels, increases blood pressure, and, most dangerously, triggers chronic inflammation in your body without you even realizing it. When you're under stress, your body produces hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. In the short term, these hormones help you respond quickly to danger. But if you're constantly living under pressure, anxiety, or emotional suppression, these hormones accumulate and gradually wear down your cardiovascular system. They damage the arterial walls, promote plaque formation, and force your heart to operate in a constant state of red alert. This is especially true for older adults, who are often more vulnerable to stress but less likely to recognize it. Many tend to internalize their emotions, avoid sharing their worries, and say things like, "At my age, I'm used to it." But that quiet endurance can erode the spirit day by day. Someone may appear fine on the outside, but one emotional shock, such as the loss of a loved one, financial pressure, or even the feeling of being left out, can be enough to trigger a heart attack. So, how can you protect yourself from stress? You may not be able to eliminate all the pressures of life, but you can absolutely learn how to manage them. Get enough sleep. Go outside daily. Practice deep breathing. Connect with family and friends. Listen to calming music. Try meditation. If you can, learn to say no to unnecessary stressors. And don't hesitate to seek help from a mental health professional if negative emotions persist. A peaceful mind is the greatest gift you can give your heart. But there's yet another cause, seemingly harmless, that's damaging the heart health of millions of people every day. It comes from the way we live, work, and rest. Do you know what it is?
The sixth cause, physical inactivity and a sedentary lifestyle, is something many older adults suffer from without ever realizing it could be damaging their heart. In today's modern society, convenience is everywhere. One press of the remote turns on the TV, a single click delivers food to your doorstep, and a phone call brings services right to your home. But that convenience has a cost. It makes the body move less,
And the most serious consequence isn't belly fat, it's that the heart becomes weaker and the blood vessels become increasingly clogged. When you sit too much, avoid walking, or skip regular exercise, blood circulation slows down, fats and cholesterol accumulate more easily, and your muscles, including your heart muscle, gradually lose strength and flexibility. Insulin, the hormone responsible for regulating blood sugar, also becomes less effective, leading to increased blood sugar, higher cholesterol, and more visceral fat. This means that a lack of movement alone can lead to a cascade of risk factors contributing to heart attacks and strokes. Your heart is like a pump. If it's not warmed up regularly, it loses its ability to contract strongly and efficiently. Then one day, when you need to exert yourself just a little, like climbing stairs, experiencing strong emotions, or stepping outside in the heat, your heart can't keep up. You may feel chest pain, shortness of breath, or worse, a sudden unannounced heart attack. The good news is, you don't need to go to the gym or run marathons to improve your heart health. Just walking gently for 20 to 30 minutes a day, standing and stretching every 30 minutes of sitting, gardening, cleaning the house, or playing with your grandchildren, all of these are enough to give your heart the moderate but consistent exercise it needs. Treat movement as a non-negotiable part of your daily routine because it's the most natural and powerful way to keep your heart strong. But there's still one more thing. Even if you eat well and stay active, if you're exposed to this every single day, all your efforts could be in vain. What could be so damaging?
The seventh cause, smoking and secondhand smoke, is one of the most dangerous yet most underestimated threats to heart health. Many people believe that only active smokers are at risk, but in truth, even if you don't smoke, simply living in an environment where others do, like your spouse, children, or neighbors, means you're still inhaling hundreds of toxic chemicals that silently damage your blood vessels. When cigarette smoke enters the body, it doesn't just make the blood dirty, it also damages the endothelium, the inner lining of the arteries, reducing elasticity and creating the perfect environment for plaque buildup. Nicotine causes temporary blood vessel constriction, while carbon monoxide reduces the blood's ability to carry oxygen. Together, these effects force the heart to work harder while receiving less oxygen. The result? The heart becomes weaker, arteries become more clogged, and the risk of a sudden heart attack triggered by emotional stress or physical exertion becomes dangerously high. Even young smokers who've been smoking for years may suffer a heart attack before the age of 40. In older adults, the damage progresses more rapidly and the risk of death is significantly higher. Some people believe cutting back is enough, such as smoking only one cigarette a day instead of a full pack, but studies show that even one cigarette per day can double the risk of heart attack and stroke. There is no such thing as a safe level of smoking. The good news is, once you stop smoking, your body immediately begins to repair itself. Arteries begin to clear, blood pressure drops, oxygen levels rise, and your heart attack risk decreases noticeably within just a few weeks. If you've smoked for years, there's no better time to quit than today. Don't wait for your heart to speak up, because sometimes it won't get a second chance. And finally, there's one more cause. One that everyone knows, everyone experiences, but our carelessness toward it continues to cost thousands of lives. What is it?
The final cause, aging and complacency, is the reason why so many people ignore the warning signs of heart problems. After the age of 60, blood vessels naturally lose elasticity, and small injuries no longer heal as easily as they once did. But what's more concerning is the common habit of normalizing every symptom. Fatigue is blamed on aging. Chest pain is dismissed as a joint or muscle issue. Dizziness is blamed on the weather. This mindset of downplaying symptoms causes many to miss the critical window for emergency care. What they don't realize is that in older adults, a heart attack can present very subtly,
Not with crushing chest pain or dramatic collapse, but with mild fatigue, shortness of breath, or cold sweats. And by the time they recognize something is wrong, it may already be too late. That's why you must never ignore any unusual changes in your body. Your heart can absolutely remain healthy well into your 70s if you learn to listen to it today. So, how do you recognize a heart attack early? What are the most dangerous warning signs that older adults often overlook? Many people believe heart attacks always strike suddenly and severely, but the truth is, most heart attacks are preceded by warning signs. They're just too subtle or vague to grab attention. The most common symptom is chest discomfort. This doesn't always come as sharp pain. It may feel like heaviness, tightness, pressure, or a squeezing sensation in the chest. Sometimes the discomfort radiates to the neck, jaw, shoulder, left arm, or upper back, leading people to think it's a muscle strain or arthritis. The second warning sign is shortness of breath, especially when walking, climbing stairs, or even lying down. Many patients need to sit up just to breathe comfortably. Next is unusual, persistent fatigue, even without doing anything strenuous. You might feel completely drained after simple tasks like doing the dishes or going to the market. Other signs include nausea, lightheadedness, or cold sweats, often mistaken for digestive issues or mild low blood pressure. But the most dangerous of all is the silent heart attack, a heart attack that occurs without any obvious symptoms. It's only discovered during a routine checkup, and by that point, part of the heart muscle may already be permanently damaged. So, if you or a loved one are experiencing any of these symptoms, what should you do immediately to avoid a devastating outcome?
If you suspect that someone, or even yourself, may be having a heart attack, the most important rule is this: do not wait. Do not try to tough it out, and absolutely do not attempt to treat it at home. Call emergency services immediately. With every passing minute, heart muscle cells begin to die due to lack of oxygen, and any delay can lead to heart failure, arrhythmias, or even death. While waiting for the ambulance, keep the person calm and seated. Avoid any movement. Loosen tight clothing and help them stay relaxed. If low-dose aspirin, 81 to 325 milligrams, is available and the person has no allergies to it, they can chew one tablet to help thin the blood temporarily. Do not let the person lie down or attempt to drive themselves to the hospital. Once at the hospital, doctors will run tests like an EKG, check cardiac enzymes, and may perform stenting or surgery if necessary. But even with timely medical care, heart damage may not be fully reversible. That's why the best solution is still early prevention. So what can you do starting today to protect your heart after the age of 60? The good news is, you don't have to wait for symptoms to start taking care of your heart. By making a few small daily changes, you can dramatically reduce your risk of heart attack and stroke. First, adjust your diet. Reduce sugar, salt, processed foods, and animal fats. Instead, eat more leafy greens, fatty fish, avocados, nuts, and extra virgin olive oil, foods that naturally help clean your arteries and reduce inflammation. Second, stay active. Walk for 30 minutes a day, practice deep breathing, stretch gently. These habits help your heart get stronger and improve blood circulation. Third, manage existing conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol, not by ignoring them or self-medicating, but by getting regular checkups, monitoring your numbers, and following your doctor's advice. Fourth, don't underestimate the power of rest and stress relief. Get enough sleep, meditate, listen to music, and connect with loved ones. These help reduce the burden on your heart. And finally, if you smoke, quit. It's never too late to stop and start healing. But maybe you're wondering, I'm already 60 or 70. Is it too late to change? So what's the answer?
If you're asking, is it too late to change at my age? The answer is absolutely not. The heart is a miraculous organ. Even if you've had years of stress, fatigue, unhealthy eating, or even a minor heart attack, if you start making changes today, your heart can still recover. Your arteries can begin to clear, and you can live healthier, stronger, and more joyful years ahead. No one is asking for perfection. All it takes is listening to your body, caring for your heart with small steps each day, and you're giving yourself the gift of a better life. Start today, not just to live longer, but to live well, with health, purpose, and peace. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your family and friends, especially those who are entering their middle or senior years. Sometimes the right information at the right time can save a life. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos on heart health, graceful aging, and living a vibrant, happy life every day. Thank you for watching. Wishing you and your family a strong, healthy heart.